Alright guys, we're going to tackle some more system variables in this video. We talked about some system variables before in the last video, width and height. There are some other system variables that you will like to know about. You can do some cool things with them, okay? So this is going to demonstrate system variables and other methods you can use, okay? So there's a lot of things you can do in processing, okay? So remember, whenever we are starting a program, we're going to need the setup method, and we are going to need the draw method, okay? So in the setup method, we are going to change the size of the screen, and mine is going to be 1000, 1000. And then we can change the color of the background. I have no idea what color to put on the background, but let's just pick one and see. That's a cool color. So 193, 10, 10. All right, there we go. Now, what I'm going to do here is I want to just draw like a face. I'm going to draw it in the middle of the screen. So I'm going to say ellipse. Center ellipse is 500, 500, and it's going to be 200, 200. Then I'm going to need another ellipse for the eyes. Hold on. So fill with yellow. Then this one is going to get filled with black. Here we're going to go 450, comma 450, comma 30, 30, let's say, and another ellipse before we run it. And the X is going to be 550, the Y is going to be 450 as well, 30 and 30. See what we got so far. All right, there we go there. That's a weird looking yellow, I guess, but I think I meant to put 250 right here, right? That's more of a yellow color, I think. There we go. All right, now I just need my arc for his mouth. Okay, here is the color. We're going to fill it. Now I'm going to put an arc. The center of the arc is going to be at 500 and 560. And the width of the arc is going to be 100, and the height of the arc, let's say 50. This is going to be too small. Oh, and then I got to do the starting angle and the ending angle. So radians 0 is going to be a smiley face. And it's going to radians 180, like that. So let's see what happens with this arc. Not too bad. Probably want to raise it up a little bit so the Y is not so far down. Let's say 540 instead. And try that. All right, that's perfect. Now, I want to get into the system variables now, all right? So, what did I just delete? Okay, so what I'm going to do is introduce you to some system variables. So the system variables we're going to use are going to be mouse X and mouse Y, okay? Mouse X and mouse Y. So instead of these numbers, we're going to use mouse X and mouse Y. We don't need to worry about really the numbers, because what's going to happen is this ellipse is going to get drawn wherever my mouse X and mouse Y are. Now this is our face. This is the big ellipse, right? The head parts. Okay, so our eyes are a little bit different. You got to remember what number was in this position. This number before was 500. This is 500 and this is 500. So now we have our mouse and X and the mouse and Y are both have the same value, which is 500. We have to remember that value because you got to do it. You got to use it in these calculations we're about to do, okay? So now we're going to use mouse X in this position for this ellipse as well, but we can't use the same mouse X because it's going to draw it in the same place. It was 50 less, so we're going to take mouse X minus 50 because this was 500 up here and this was 450 down here. So we take 500 minus 50 is going to give us 450. Mouse Y is 500, is 450 down here. So we're going to do the same thing and put mouse Y minus 50, okay? You guys see that? So mouse X and mouse Y, I'm going to just comment out here, mouse X is 500 and mouse Y is 500. That way you don't forget what it is, okay? So we go down here to this ellipse, and the difference here, 500 is X. We're going to use X in this position, so mouse X is 500. And to get to 550, we have to add 50, okay? So what we're going to do is say mouse X plus 50. You see that? And this one is 450. Mouse Y is 500. So we're going to say mouse Y minus 50, okay? And we need to do it in the arc as well. Just this part of the arc right here. So remember, mouse X is 500, so we can just put mouse X there. Mouse Y is 500, but this one is 540, so we got to take mouse Y and add 40 to it. Mouse Y and add 40 to it, okay? So let's see how this works. We're going to go ahead and run it. Now look, I have a smiley face up here in the top left of my screen. Now watch what happens as I put the mouse over the canvas window. It redraws that face wherever I move my mouse, okay? So you can move it fast and it moves it all over, and you can move it slow and it's going to have like a lot. It's drawing 60 times per second. Don't forget, that's the draw method, right? Drawing 60 times per second. So there it is, drawing, drawing, drawing for you, okay? Now, whenever we move our mouse, we have this trace of where the face was drawn previously. So if you want to erase that face and you don't want to have that trace in the background, the way you do that is you have to redraw the background in the draw method, okay? So you put it the exact same color as before from up here in the setup method, down here, same thing, okay? Let's run it and see what happens. Here we go. So now we got the face going all over the screen. You guys see that? Awesome. So now we can move the face anywhere we want. And it goes all over the screen. All right. So there's our face there. I want to show you one other thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just comment out our face real quick. And I want to put in a code for a line, okay? So I'm going to put a code for a line, and I'm going to use our variables, mouse X and mouse Y. Now look, I'm going to show you two more, okay? This is going to be P mouse X and P mouse Y. What that means is the previous position of the X and the Y, okay? So this is draw me a line from my current mouse X and mouse Y to my previous mouse X and mouse Y. So watch what happens here. So nothing happens if I don't have the cursor on the mouse on the canvas, but once I move the mouse on the canvas, it draws me a line. Now look at that. See, I have a line from from mouse X and mouse Y to previous mouse X and mouse Y. So now I can draw on there like this. See that? That is awesome right there. So that's pretty cool. So P mouse X and P mouse Y, you may want to use that, keep that in your arsenal, and you can use it in any programs that we have. We'll have a couple of programs where you will be using that P mouse X and P mouse Y. Okay, so back to my ellipse. So back to my happy face. There it is right there. Okay. All right. So let's see what else we can do with this. Let's say we want to change the color of the eyes. The eyes are black here, but instead we're going to fill them with, let's say we can use mouse X and mouse Y here and 3, remember? So we need mouse X again, or you can put mouse Y, either one you can put, or you can put all of them the same, doesn't really matter. So when you do this, remember the max number that these can be is 255. So the max, it's going to change the color of the eyes. Watch the eyes change color, see? They're pink over here. If you go down, they become white. Well, if you go down past like halfway, it's going to be white no matter what. We got green down here on the side. You see the eyes changing color quite a bit. Once you get above 255, all the values 255, of course, it's going to be white. But then you got purple, and then it goes towards green, light green, white in there. So, you know, my canvas is 1000 by 1000. So once I get over 255, then the color is not really going to be the same anymore. Like, it's all going to be white because it gets to 255. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that. So you can use it in the fill command too. Let me show you another thing you can do. So we're going to make a entire new method. This method is going to be called mousePressed. Okay, and this is going to do something if the mouse gets pressed. If it doesn't get pressed, it's not going to do anything. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this code from the draw method, and I'm going to paste it into the mousePressed method. Now watch how this works. So there is no happy face. I don't see any happy face. I'm moving my mouse over the canvas. There is no happy face. But if I click on it, there's my happy face. Wherever I click on my mouse, my happy face is going to appear there. Okay, so that's if you want to click. You know, if you can use that mouse press method if you want something to appear when you click on the mouse. Okay, so what else can we do? Let's try the key press method. The key press method is pretty useful as well. You can use this to create any games that you want to create. Key pressed does something when any key gets pressed, or you can kind of specify which key that you wanted to get pressed in this particular case. So we go here, we run it. Mouse press, nothing, key press. There it is. So you can press any key on the keyboard and it's going to create and draw that smiley face where you are. So now watch what happens. I move my cursor over here, I press the space, and it draws the smiley face, and look where my cursor is. It's right in the middle of that smiley face. Why? Because I put mouse X and mouse Y as the middle of the face ellipse. Okay, so it's right there where you need it to be at. Yeah, guys, so now you can do some really cool stuff. Let me show you. I'm going to go back into the draw method and I'm going to draw another ellipse, or let me do a rectangle. Let's say a rectangle, and I'm going to set it at mouse X, comma mouse Y, and the rectangle is going to be 100, let's say 200 pixels long and 300 pixels high. So we run it. And there's my rectangle, gets redrawn everywhere because I haven't redrawn the background. But now you can get stuff to move how you want it to move. So let's say I want a ellipse there close by. I'm going to say mouse X plus 50. I'm going to say mouse Y plus 50, and it's going to be 30 by 30. Okay, so I run that. And my ellipse is going to be off of the corner of my rectangle. You see that? There's the ellipse right there on the rectangle. You see that? So we're going to have to give it the mouse X probably more than 50. Probably let's say like let's say like 800